Today's music legend that you should know is the Indian singer Purna Das Baul. He is from the Baul tribe. They're like wandering minstrels from the Bengali part of India and Bangladesh. And they've been around for at least 500 years. And they are known for wearing very bright costumes, which is why I'm wearing this shirt, and for an ecstatic style of performance that includes singing and dancing and the playing of many different instruments. Purna Das is somebody who I would say is the most famous of the Bauls. He has a transcendent voice. And I know this both from listening to recordings and also from having heard him sing live. I think it was in the late 1970s, no, maybe the early or mid 1980s, that he came through Chicago and stopped at Northwestern, where I had a friend who was teaching in the ethnomusicology department. He said, "Hey, Purna Das Baul is here." And I had heard of him. And I think I had already heard some recordings. So I was very excited. And I went to this room. And it was a small room, maybe there were 100 people sitting around. And they were on one side of it, totally acoustic, unamplified, and playing percussion instruments and some string instruments. I think it's called a dotara. It's like a fretless string instrument, and maybe some tablas. And this instrument called the ektara. It's like a membrane and two pieces of bamboo that are squeezed together, and there's a string. And when you squeeze it changes the pitch of the membrane. And Purna Das played the kamak. This really wild sound, unlike anything else I ever heard. And when Purna Das started to sing, his voice just absolutely transported me. I've never been affected by a human being's voice the same way I was by his. And it was a short performance, maybe 45 minutes. And when I got up to leave, my knees, I could barely stand. It did something to me. That's all I have to say. I've never experienced anything like it before or since. So who is this Purna Das Baul? And why does he have so much power in his voice? I think it's an absolute belief in what he's singing about. Because the Bauls, they don't really follow any set religion, and they believe that all religions are basically saying the same thing. So they're similar to the Sufis, which is a branch of Islam, and they also follow certain Hindu precepts. But they're all kind of against the established religion, but take the best elements from all of them, including some things from Buddhism as well. So his connection with the West is very interesting because he traveled extensively with this group of Bauls that include his wife, who's also a singer and musician. And they traveled all over the world. And also in India, Allen Ginsberg, the famous poet, met Purna Das and I think he stayed with their family in his village somewhere in Bangladesh, and told Bob Dylan's manager about the Bauls and especially about Purna Das. And so when they came to the United States, Dylan invited them up to his home in upstate New York. And Purna Das and his brother Luxman can be seen on the cover of Bob Dylan's John Wesley Harding album. And for years, I wondered, who are these funny-looking people on the cover? Because Bob Dylan, with his bizarre sense of humor, had Purna Das and Luxman wearing cowboy hats. And I'm looking at them, and I'm going, these guys don't look like cowboys to me. This is, I think, 1967. And then there was a local tradesman standing behind them. This another totally unassociated person. So Dylan's surreal sense of humor won out. It's a really interesting album. Purna Das is not on the album. But however, at the same time as he was meeting Dylan, he also met the guys in The Band, which is probably my favorite Canadian-American band. I don't even know what category to put them in, but if you know about them, you know about them. And they recorded an album in the basement of the house that the band was living in, which they called Big Pink. Um, and the band's first album was called Music for Big Pink. And this album was called Bengali Bauls Live at Big Pink. And that's the first time I heard Purna Das Baul sing. There are extensive liner notes on the back of this album. It's very fascinating to read. Back when vinyl was the only way to get a record, and the liner notes were long on this album. And Purna Das sang last. The other guys sang, and they sounded good, but they saved the best for last. And I sat there and listened to this album and had my mind blown. I believe it was sometime in the 1970s that I bought the album. I suggest that you definitely check out Purna Das Baul. He is still alive. He was born in 1933, so he's 92 now, I believe. I don't know if he's still singing, but he was singing until fairly recently. And he has an incredible stage presence, and much of his music is available on Spotify and all of the streaming platforms. So it's something that I feel exalted when I listen to his voice. It goes straight to heaven. That's all I can say about it. So make sure you check out Purna Das Baul.